This episode is sponsored by Anchor. If you like what you're hearing, stick around and you can learn how to make your very own podcast for free. Hello and welcome to Backyard Trash Talk. My name is Jacob. As you can see, I'm filming alone today just because... Well, actually, I'm filming for the first time ever today. The other times I've thought about filming the episodes, but I just well, to be honest, I was kind of lazy. But also, there are some people who are just like, yeah, I don't want to be filmed or whatever. It's cool if you just like do a static thumbnail. And honestly, I like drawing, and I like having like everyone like to be their own character in the animation trash bin universe or whatever. But I just wanted to film this one because it's the last episode of the season finale. As you can see, there's no guests, it's just me. And I'm not even filming in a backyard anymore, so the name is kind of redundant now, but I don't think it's necessary that we film in the backyard anymore just because it was a cool name thing at first because it was like, hey, it's our theme, we're filming in a backyard, but now it's just hot, and there's fires in California everywhere, so it's like smoky as hell. I've never smoked personally, but if I could describe the experience of smoking, it would be what I felt when I was recording outside. I have yet to record a podcast episode outside in the smoke, but I did record a guitar thing if you follow my Instagram at Jacob_DUONG_TRAN. And I was recording a guitar thing for like 45 minutes, and my eyes were like burning by the end, and my lungs were broken, and I don't know, it wasn't good, but I like filming, and I like this little setup that I have. Some people have been wondering why I'm taking the podcast in seasons, and why it seems kind of like a gimmick, and I can see why like people would think that, but honestly, I have been getting back into YouTube. For those who don't know, for those who have just started listening to the podcast just because like they follow me on Instagram or whatever, I do have a YouTube channel. It's called The Animation Trash Bin. I make cartoons. I used to make cartoons. Okay, I never made cartoons consistently, but I used to make cartoons like every couple of weeks or whatever, and that was like kind of my thing. I was like the YouTube kid, and now that's kind of gone downhill, and I don't know. I started doing Grease, as you've heard in the previous episodes. I would like to think of the seasons to have like themes. Like, I wouldn't call this one the Theater Kid season because not every single guest that was on was a theater kid, but I'm thinking about the next season to have the lineup of guests like fit a sort of theme, and that's probably what I'm going to do for the rest of the seasons from now on. But yeah, I make cartoons on YouTube, and I haven't uploaded in over a year, since February of 2019. And I honestly, I needed the break from YouTube, but I did want to come back because I've been missing animations. I'm working on a video right now, and I will use this video to promote the podcast too. And then everyone's happy because you can get to hear me talk every weekend on this, and on the weekends that I'm not doing this, you get to watch the cartoons, and so that works out perfectly. I'm thinking of this next season to be themed around cartoonists and other animators on YouTube, like, well, he's kind of dead now, but Kabloosh, he could be a guest or whatever, but as of right now, I'm taking a break from the podcast just for a couple weeks to like organize a guest list, because honestly, for this season, it was kind of an unorganized mess. A lot of people were messaging me saying they wanted to come on the show or whatever, but I didn't actually have an organized schedule, and up until recently, I wasn't even doing them weekly. And I do want to get a more consistent upload schedule for these podcasts, so that people have something to look forward to, or just so that iTunes or like whatever can, I guess, so that they can, I don't know, see consistency, or like see, who knows, I might get offered some sponsorships, or people might actually want to be on the show now instead of me begging guests for every week. But if you don't follow backyard_trash_talk on Instagram, or if you don't follow my other Instagram at Jacob_DUONG_TRAN, I posted something on my story basically saying that for the season finale, I was asking a bunch of the season 1 guests and a bunch of people who just like, a bunch of just ordinary people who've never done a podcast or anything like this before, who are completely new to the recording scene to tell their own stories and just to get them out there to the world. And so, you know what? I'll just let Sam explain it. Sam is from the Debate Squad. She was in episode 9 and episode 5. One of them was about the Pixar movies. The other one was about Phineas and Ferb. And just hear what she has to say.
Okay. Hi, Backyard Trash Talk. Congrats on the end of a first season, and I hope the listeners enjoyed. I know I had a lot of fun filming with Jacob and Haley, and so to commemorate the first season, Jacob asked me to record a funny story. So I guess I'll tell a really recent one of how Sonia and I scarred Jacob and Haley's.
Sonia is the girl that we mentioned in the previous Debate Squad episode. She's a part of the... If you listened in on episode 9, they like rebranded as like I think it was a sesh instead of Debate Squad. It was like Sam, Erica, Sonia, Haley. Sonia is a third member from the Debate Squad.
Haley's pool guy? Yeah.
So they scratched so they scratched our pool guy. Our pool guy's name is he is Kevin. He's a pretty cool dude.
Basically, the Debate Squad was over at Haley's house because whenever like we get our schedules for high school, we like go over to Haley's house and like compare our schedules and like celebrate the end of summer or whatever. So we're all outside by the pool. We hadn't gotten in yet though because I think we were playing ping pong and just like looking at TikTok or something, and I had a song in my head from TikTok, and it was the one that goes like...
This is kind of off topic, but I honestly don't understand the appeal to TikTok, like, at all. I've tried making TikToks, and I've done a couple TikToks with Haley, and I've tried like making them on my own to like for music and for and with the previous co-host, we used to make TikToks together. But like, I never understood like the appeal. Honestly, it's the same principle that I feel like a lot of people are just doing it because everyone else is doing it. Like, Musical.ly has been around for years before that, and TikTok was also a thing. It was something that everyone made fun of, actually, when it was first rebranded as TikTok instead of Musical.ly. And I don't know why, but like I feel like it just started getting like insanely popular recently, just because there's like more attractive people doing it. But I never found the appeal. Mainly that might be biased because I actually like record stuff on my own without using other people's audio to record to. But that might just be me. That might just be me.
She got hips, I got a grip for, and we all knew it. And for some reason, like, it just got stuck in all of our heads by the end of that day, and it kept being brought up. And so Sonia and I were like, okay, let's just, like, film a TikTok and just mess around or whatever. So we had set up my phone on the ping pong table while Haley and Erica watched, and we just, like, filmed a short, funny video of us just messing around.
This is also kind of unrelated, but I mean, think about how a TikTok looks like from an outsider's perspective who's never seen. Like, everyone is singing this song that is only famous because of this platform that everyone uses, which I guess that's fair enough. But it's kind of funny how like video production or whatever, just by ordinary people, like just filming videos, has changed throughout the years. But now it's setting up your phone to film a bunch of people dancing to songs that already have predetermined dances on them. I don't know. I never understood that appeal, but I guess that could just be me.
And then we were watching it, and then I noticed out of like the corner of my eye that like someone was nearby, but it was weird because I thought we were alone outside. And then I looked over, and Jacob and Haley's pool guy was kind of just like crouching over there, like by the pool, just checking the water or something.
Yeah, that's generally what pool guys do.
And then I looked to Sonia, and I was like, Sonia, there's a guy here. It was really embarrassing. We didn't notice. Apparently, when we were filming the video, he had walked by from the back gate, and he had seen us because, like, I think he and Erica, like, looked at each other, and she was just like, yeah, I don't know, man, and he was just like, okay, let's move on with my day. So Sonia and I were mortified, and Haley and Erica were just laughing, and yeah. So to Jacob and Haley's pool guy, I'm so sorry. Congrats on a first season, Backyard.
Thanks, Sam. Okay, so I might have misread the title of that story, or I might have taken some things out of context, but I'm pretty sure there was no physical harm involved in that story. But cool. Thanks for the story, Sam. That was that was a funny story. This next one is from Emily Beagley. She was from the second episode, Backyard Trash Talk, Leah's Cookies. It was also her 18th birthday yesterday, so happy adulthood, Emily. This is her story titled Pepperoni.mp4.
Okay, so with one of my friend groups, these are all friends who have, like, graduated high school already.
Yeah, Emily's a weird being. For some reason, if you're listening to this, Emily, why are, like, all of your friends, like, 4 years older than you? Because she's still, like, Emily's a senior in high school now. But a lot of, like, because we have some mutual friends, and they're, like, college level. But, you know what, I'm not going to question it, because, you know, it's cool. Have your own friends, man. I mean, my friends are trees, but still, I mean, they're cool people. So, I mean, do your thing. I mean,
And so we would always go bowling. Like, that was our thing to do. We would go bowling, and we would, we'd go to Buffalo Wild Wings, but either before.
Side note, I've only had Buffalo Wild Wings like once when I was really, really little. My old school, dude, I used to go to a fancy school. My school was literally like based on the White House. It looked like the White House. And I don't know if that was intentional, but dude, it was a nice school. But they used to do these fundraiser things at Buffalo Wild Wings for some reason. I don't remember anything except for the fact that they used to have these like really hot chili. Maybe it was really hot to me back then. Maybe they're not even that hot. But like back then, my spice tolerance was about... my spice tolerance was about as low as my IQ, but...
Either before or after. And so this one time, my friend and I decided to have a fake wedding proposal at the bowling alley. So she got down on one knee, and I pretended to be shocked and all this, like, crazy stuff, because we wanted to...
Now that's some original content, if I do say so myself. Like with TikTok nowadays and everything, I mean, that is some quality comedy gold. And of course, I am one to talk about comedy gold because I am the funniest guy that I know. Sorry, just yeah.
Because we wanted to trick the rest of the people there that we were actually getting married. And so now we have an inside joke.
I gotta ask, did it work? I mean, did people at Buffalo Wild Wings actually think that, like, you were getting married? Because I couldn't imagine that you looked any older than, like, 12. Which I know you were probably, like, 16 or 17. But, I mean, I couldn't imagine that you looked any older than, well, 12. Because...
a joke that we're husbands, but that's besides the point.
Interesting choice that you would label yourself as husbands and not wives. I mean, if anything, I would expect one of you to be a husband and the other one to be a wife. But I mean, dude, the LGBTQ community, man, it's crazy. No offense to anyone. I love everyone equally.
And this one lady in the booth next to us, she clapped for us. And then she looked down.
So I guess my question was answered. It did work. Dude, I'm okay. When I was thinking, when you just said old lady, I was just thinking like Betty White with Alzheimer's clapping because she has no idea what's going on. And she
down at her pizza, and she's like, pepperoni.
What?
Pepperoni.
No.
She clapped for us.
Okay.
And then she looked down at her pizza and she's like, pepperoni.
So I'm confused what happened to the original storyline of a proposal. We just went from this beautiful proposal just happened in the middle of a Buffalo Wild Wings, but now somehow we're transitioning into this old lady who's clapped for you. That's a beautiful wedding, man. And then she just decides to look down at her peach and just goes, pepperoni, pepperoni. My question is, how could you even hear that? Like, I'm sure the proposal happened, everyone was clapping. How could you hear this old lady with what I assume to be a scratchy, grainy voice? So, I imagined a Betty White with Alzheimer's with Marge Simpson's voice. Is that weird?
It was really funny.
This is really stupid, actually.
We couldn't stop laughing about it for the rest of the night. It was
Okay, I'm trying to place myself in this scenario. Like, I'm trying to place myself in this scenario where I don't understand how that could, like, I get how that could be something that you would. No, you know what? I understand. That's hilarious, actually. I was going to say I don't understand how people could, like, laugh at that for years looking back on it. But now that I think about it, dude. Okay.
It's the best thing that had happened, like, all summer. Was just pepperoni.
So I've seen Emily's IGTVs about, like, I don't know, like, flashbacks or whatever. And the fact that the highlight of their summer was pepperoni speaks volumes. And honestly, I commend that. That is beautiful. And I wish I was there for that.
We also tried to, like, imitate the Wii bowling people. When you throw the bowling ball behind you, would, like, the people jump up.
I saw this video, actually.
And they go, oh. But so I was the one who threw the bowling ball, and I hit my friend Matt in the toe.
That is honestly a genius idea. I don't know if people. I mean, hang on. I'm gonna look up if people have done this before. Like looking up if people have recreated the Wii Sports me things. Because if that. Okay, so I guess that has been. Okay, so that is. Okay, so yeah, that's already been done before, but I think that's hilarious that, I think that's hilarious, because thinking about it, the movements in the Wii Sports, it's so unnatural. Like, honestly, it looks, I have to see this video and then, like, put it in the little corner or something. That's honestly hilarious. Hold up.
But the pepperoni thing. We couldn't get over it. Like, we've been laughing about it, like since, and it's been over it.
So one of Emily's mutual friends is calling right now, so.
Hey, Jacob.
What's up? You're live.
Oh, hi. I'm at work right now.
You're at work right now?
Yeah, I'm at work right now.
Why would you call me at work?
Don't expose me. Goodbye.
Hey, no, don't go. Tell a story.
Hello, viewers.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Geraldine. This is Geraldine De Vera. So, would you like to tell a story? Tell a funny story.
I don't have one in mind right now.
Any funny? Do you have any work stories?
No.
Wow.
I can't think of any right now. Don't put me on the spot.
If you're at work, why aren't you wearing your mask?
I'm wearing my mask.
Your mask was down. That's irresponsible.
Okay, well, I have to go.
Okay, well, yep, have fun.
Bye.
Goodbye. All right. So, any more to
year since then. So, and it's been, we couldn't get over it. Like, we've been laughing about it, like, since, and it's been over a year since then. So, it's pepperoni.
That was a good way to end that recording. Good. I applaud you for that, Emily. Oh, jeez. All right, Geraldine's going live again.
I thought of a funny story.
Oh, she thought of a story. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Geraldine DeVera, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Okay.
So, at work, so I'm a server, and one of my responsibilities is to do trash, and I work at a senior living facility, and as I was doing trash, I had a diaper fall onto my face. That is all.
Wait, is it like an adult diaper?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that made sense. I had to. Was it used, or was it like a pack of
It was used. Yes, it was used. I was doing trash, and it was used, and there was poop and pee, and it's disgusting.
poop and pee? Can I ask where it fell?
Right on my face.
On your.
On my face.
So like, did
It was closed though, so that's okay. But the stench, oh my gosh, it was terrible.
dude, that would be so funny if it fell face open, completely opened, and it got all like.
Yeah, I would have quit.
That would. Yeah. That.
All right.
Wow.
Back to my job.
Okay. Have fun at work. Thanks for calling in.
There are 10 viewers.
Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. So there we go. Before we continue, I just want to talk about Anchor really quickly. Oh, you don't know what Anchor is? Basically, you ever heard of Santa Claus? Well, even he couldn't do as much as Anchor can. Anchor is a free software that you can use to distribute podcasts and make podcasts, record podcasts. Okay, first of all, I'm just going to read through the script that they gave me really quickly. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast to you so you can get submitted to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership and everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app. You can go to Anchor FM to get started. Anchor.fm, sorry. Now that that's all out of the way, I just want to talk about how awesome Anchor is, because that's the stuff that they want me to say, but this is the stuff that I want to say. Okay, Anchor is, without a doubt, the easiest way to host a podcast. If you don't know, in order to get a podcast on iTunes or Spotify, you can't just make an audio file and upload it. You actually have to submit it through an RSS feed, and if that sounds complicated, well, it is. And that's why you need a provider or someone to do that stuff for you. And Anchor has without a doubt made it easier. And it's free too. It's insane because you can edit and record a podcast and distribute your podcast all in this one software, and it's completely free, and there's no storage. I was paying $12 a month for SoundCloud. This is completely free, and basically, it's freaking awesome. You want to make you like my podcast? You can make a podcast just like it, okay, for free. You don't like my podcast? Well, screw it. You can make a podcast for free and become my competition, bitch. Honestly, it's such a good service. Even if they weren't sponsoring this episode, I would still be promoting them. So you can download Anchor for free on your phone, or you can go to anchor.fm on your computer or your phone, I guess, to start. For free. Okay, back to the episode. Alright, so this next story comes from Mr. Jack Fedro. He was also in Greece. I wanted to have him on this season for the theater season, but the only times that he was available to record, the second guest that we wanted for that episode was not able to record. So, Caitlin, if you're listening to this, I hope you can be on next season. And Jack, if you're listening to this, sorry to disappoint you. You couldn't be on this season, but hopefully playing your story for this makes up for it.
Okay, so one time I was in I want to say second grade or something, and we were having like a soccer recruitment party at Steve's Pizza, and I didn't play soccer, and I was really bored because it was just my parents kind of talking to kids and trying to get them to join our soccer club. So I went outside, and I had some change in my pocket or something, and I was like, oh, I don't want this change, but I'm a nice person, so I'm just going to go throw it around. So I started swinging my arms around, and then I let go of some of the change, and then I hit the hood of a car, and then
You what? So, okay. I don't know how old you were in the story, but I'm assuming you were of conscious age, like the age where you knew what you were doing. You had extra change in your pockets, and your first thought was just, you know what? I want to give to the world today. I'm gonna go outside, spin around in a circle, and just fling pennies everywhere. You ever heard that Frank Sinatra song? There's a Frank Sinatra song called actually I think it was written by like Louis Prima or something, but it's a song that was renditioned by Frank Sinatra. It's called Pennies from Heaven. Well, this is Pennies from Jack Fedro, and it's causing pain and agony. Watch out, folks.
some angry dad walks out and he's like, did you just hit my car? And then he was screaming at me. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. And he was like, where are your parents? And I said, inside. And then he was doing all this and he was just screaming at me. And I cried and it was very traumatic. He was like really mad at me. And honestly, it was just an honest mistake. And I was trying to gift the world with the change that I had in my pocket. But, you know, the world.
you were trying to look out for the hungry children of America by flinging your pennies around aimlessly. No, not aimlessly. You hit cars. You were flinging them around. You could have killed this man, but you were kind-hearted, and I commend you for that.
The world gifted me back a whole lot of angry dad, and it was just not the best experience.
Okay, in the dad's defense, I know you were probably like young in this story, but in the dad's defense, Jack is the kind of person to look way older than he is. Like, I looked at him the first time and I thought he was a full-grown adult. So I'm sure that when Jack, however old he was in this story, I'm sure he looked like a very, very conscious thinking boy. And in that dad's defense, I can kind of see why he'd be mad. This kid just, for no reason, started just chucking pennies everywhere, right? In a circle, aimlessly. It could have hit a dog. It could have gotten stuck in like a self-destruct chute and blown up like a fire hydrant. I can kind of see why the dad would be mad, but then again, I guess you were like, I'm assuming you were probably 3 in the story, because I can't imagine anyone older than 3 doing something like that.
Experience. And in hindsight, yeah, I shouldn't have been throwing those coins around, and maybe I could have been looking where I was aiming before it hit the hood of a car.
You don't say. You don't say.
But first of all, it wasn't dented. Second of all, that dad had anger issues because he was screaming at me. For what? For what reason? There was no...
Maybe because you hit his car with your pennies? I mean, just throwing that out there. But I think maybe if you weren't doing that, he maybe would have left you alone. I don't want to victim blame here, but
there's no actual reason. He was just screaming because he was
there was no actual reason. Other than the fact that I threw change at his car. Again, I'm assuming you're maybe 3 years old in the story, in which case that'd be like the...
Because he was upset with his life, and he was like mad at his second grader for accidentally...
Okay, so you were a second grader. Second grader is how old? Like kindergarten is... Hold on, gotta do some math here. Kindergarten's 5 years old, I think. So a second grader would be like 7, 8 years old. Yeah, Jack, I'm sorry, but this was that was that was a bad move, man. I'm sorry. I love you, bro, but that was I don't think you can. I do think that there are those instances where, like, you can say, This person was yelling at me for no reason. I'm sure that they just had a bad day or a rough day, and they were just yelling at me because they're insecure about their own problems. I have a ton of stories like that. I think I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast before, but when I was in 5th grade, my math teacher, who was big time, I don't want to say feminist because she wasn't a feminist. You know those feminists that are like overachievers? Like, they don't think that women should have equal rights. They think they should have dominant rights. She was one of those. She hated men. I'm not going to name any names, obviously, but there was this one time where I don't know about deliberately, but she literally spilled my water bottle on top of me during class, and then she wrote me up for it. And to that teacher, she was nice and she was cool. We liked the same comics and whatever. But at the from the bottom of my heart, I kind of hate her.
Hitting his car with a coin, but it didn't do damage. So I don't think his son made the team.
So that's another brilliant way to end that story, I guess. Jack, dude, I love you, man, but moral of the story, don't throw coins at cars, man. Who knows? This guy could have had a bad day, you know? I understand that. But dude, yeah, exactly. He might have also paid for his car, and who knows, even if there wasn't a dent or whatever. Let's say you were throwing rocks instead. That wouldn't have been good, because the same principle would have applied, and you wanted to give your rocks away to the world. That would definitely have not been good. So this next story is from Mikey. He was in episode 8. The one with Kyle's mom was in the title, I think. I forgot the second part to that title, but he was in that episode. This is his story. Take it away, Mikey.
Alright, so funny story that I had is last year around summertime, I had some cousins over, and we were filming a TikTok, and I had a Q-tip in my...
What's up with so many of these stories taking place to recording TikToks? The heck?
I had Q-tip in my right ear, left ear, and I don't know, like, I had Q-tips everywhere because we were making a TikTok.
So is it some sort of TikTok tradition to put Q-tips in your ears? I have never heard that sentence. I think that might have been a brand new sentence. I don't think this scenario has happened to anyone before. Okay, so in the previous story, in Sam's story, Q-tip in ear was never mentioned in the steps of... Okay, so the steps of recording a TikTok went, set up the phone, play the music, do the dance. Never in there do they mention stick a couple Q-tips in both of your ears. I think I know how this story is already going to end, but let's just play it anyways.
And I lost balance, and...
Of course he lost balance. Why wouldn't he lose balance? This wouldn't be the funny story it is if he didn't lose balance.
Happened to fall over on the Q-tip. That was in my right ear. It was like a 1 in a billion chance, and...
That was definitely not a 1 in a billion chance. That was a freaking 99 million in a billion chance. The chances of that happening were exponentially high.
So, the Q-tip went through my eardrum, so I had to get my first surgery. They fully cut my ear off. And then they had to glue...
I can verify this story. I actually saw his ear during the recovery, and it was gruesome. It was a pretty gruesome sight. It was like a bunch of like dried blood I don't know. It was gross because I've seen some stuff, right? Not only have I seen like Saw movies or whatever, like fake, or I've seen like the Nick Berg video. For those who aren't aware, the Nick Berg video is a video that was released by some terrorists. They live streamed a decapitation of this American citizen. The dude's name was Nick Berg. I think this happened in like 2004. But basically, he was captured, and they live streamed them cutting off his head, and that video messed me up. Like, ever since I watched that video, I had a strange fear of bathrooms. I don't know. I don't know if that's normal or not, but I had a strange fear of bathrooms after watching that video because for some reason, when I was staring at the bathroom mirror for too long, I just thought there was going to be some dude who popped up behind me and would. Now that's kind of weird, actually. I don't know why. That's a very irrational fear that I have. Give me your feedback. Are you afraid of bathrooms, or is that just a weird me thing? I guess it's kind of stupid because, like, I imagine like someone ugly popping up behind me, but like they don't hurt me or anything. Because like, all right, so I have this. I think this goes for most of you guys too, but I'm not actually afraid of death. I'm more afraid of the pain that leads up to death. Like the pain that would go to cause death, not death itself. Sure, the idea of death, like once you're done, you would be no more. That's baffling, right? But I feel like I'm not afraid of that. I would be cool with it because who cares? I'm dead. But it would be the pain of death, like getting stabbed or like getting shot, that I'm afraid of. I'm just afraid of the pain that would lead up to death, which is strange because literally pain's only purpose is to warn you, hey, this might kill you. I don't know where I was going with this, but I've seen gruesome stuff like that Nick Berg video, which they show in schools for some reason. Which why? But this Mikey's ear was worse than that. It looked like someone pierced it, then ripped the piercing out, and then stabbed him in the head.
Eardrum back together.
Ah, shoot.
And then I had some checkup appointments. And then, beginning of this year, January 16th to be exact, I had another surgery where they had to glue my eardrum back together again because my surgeon might have messed it up the first time or something like that. And then, so, I don't know, yeah, that's kind of my funny story, I guess. And I'm not cleared to swim yet. I believe I'm clear.
Well, that sucks that your surgeon messed it up the first time. Jeez.
I'm cleared to swim in February of 2021. That's when I'll be cleared to swim, do most physical activities, jump on a trampoline again. It's just, I don't know, stuff like that. And, yeah, that's kind of my funny story. But, yeah.
Wait, jump on a trampoline? Okay, I understood the swimming thing. I was aware of the swimming thing because when I invited Mikey and Kyle over for the podcast that one time, I was like, "Yo, you guys want to swim afterwards? Just chill." And Mikey mentioned something about him not being able to swim because of this stupid ear thing. So that I understand. I guess there's like cotton or whatever in the ear, and you don't want it to like fill up or whatever. But why jumping on a trampoline? What would that? What do you need your ear for when you're jumping on a trampoline? Actually, I'm gonna look this up because I'm kind of curious about what you need. I'm kind of curious as to what this could have to. Oh, huh. Well, that actually answered more questions than I thought it would. So apparently, apparently there's stuff in your ear, like an ear infection could cause imbalance. Ear surgery. Wow. Okay, so I guess, the doctor knows what he's talking about, I guess. But I just don't understand. What would you need your ear for when you're jumping? Like, how do your ears help you balance? Like, I've heard like the purpose for toes is to like help you balance. But would that? This is hurting my head. I'm just gonna move on. Side note, I'm actually kind of surprised that pulled results on Google. I just looked up ear jumping, and oh Jesus, I'm actually kind of shocked that pulled up results. Just looking up ear jumping because honestly, I didn't expect that. Well, I guess it makes sense. I don't know what else ear jumping would be related to, but actually, here's a kind of side story. Me and my siblings were just having this discussion. My sister needed help rebooting her Mac, and so she tried looking it up, and we were just like, well, what exactly did you look up? And she said, how do I reboot my Mac? And we were just like, did you look up those exact words? So apparently, when Haley Googles a question. She types out the full question, complete with a question mark. So she literally looked up, how do I reboot my Mac? Question mark. I wouldn't be surprised if she put a please at the end. But then me and my brother kind of looked at her strange, and we were just like, that's, I mean, cool. But we both agreed that it would be far more ideal to just use keywords, right? I mean, does that not make sense? All right, so this next story comes from Mr. Julian. He hasn't been in an episode before, but, I mean, let's hear what he has to say.
Okay, so we were taking our Spanish final in 8th grade, right?
Off to a good start.
And it's totally silent, everyone's just doing their thing, and out of nowhere, we hear this, bang, and no one knew where it came from, so we all just kind of heard where it came, we didn't know who made it, but we kind of knew the direction of where the sound came from, so
Whoa, okay, so this story is kind of moving along a little fast. So you're just taking your Spanish final, right? You're just taking your Spanish final. And then a bang in a school. Would that not raise some alarms? Are we living in the same America?
So we all look towards the back of the classroom at this one kid, and there's smoke coming out from...
So there's smoke, okay? And there was a bang. I feel like there should be more screaming involved in this story, maybe? Potentially?
From below his desk, kind of where his lap is.
Okay, so his ass is on fire, essentially. Right? Is that what I'm getting at?
And we're all like, did he do that? What's going on? And then everyone kind of forgets about it a few seconds later, and then we hear it again. But not only that, but we smell smoke. And everyone kind of starts freaking out.
They heard it again? So it happened once? And they just let it slide for some reason? Okay.
And that day we had a sub, and our teacher was old as dirt, so she didn't notice anything. But
yes.
He kept on doing it, and we were like, what are you doing? And then he said, if you take flint and steel, it makes fire. And we were all...
Minecraft. This kid got his arsonist inspirations from Minecraft. Just putting that out there. I don't know this kid, but without a doubt in my mind. Video games really do cause violence nowadays, huh?
We were all like, what? Why do you have flint and steel? We're taking a final right now. And he's like, I don't know, I was bored and I found it in my dad's garage. So this kid, totally deranged, takes 2 rocks, smashes them together to make a fire for fun in the middle of school, and he just kept on going. And then eventually we stopped getting annoyed and we just kind of went with it, and he just kind of kept doing it. And it kept making smoke, it kept making a bunch of, loud flashes. And then our teacher came over.
I think it's weird. No, not weird. I think it's borderline unacceptable how they allowed that to happen multiple times. This isn't just like a normal school setting. These kids are taking a final. You know what? Keep talking.
Over, right? And her hair almost caught on fire.
So he almost caught the teacher on fire.
A little spark went onto her hair, and a tiny, tiny flame went on it. And, just the right second, he blew on it, and the flame went out. But her hair...
Okay, so I couldn't exactly hear what pronoun he used. I don't know if he said he blew on it or she blew on it. Neither of those situations sound very ideal. Was it the old as dirt teacher who blew on her own hair? Or was it the kid that sparked the fire? Or was it you, Mr. Julian?
Her hair would have caught on fire. So
sounds like it did catch on fire.
The period ended. Everyone was talking to him about it. What happened? Are you going to do that again? And then we go to our history class so we can take our history final. And about 10 minutes in, he does it again. And it was the loudest thing I have ever heard. Louder than a jet. Louder than a gunshot.
I don't know how decibels or whatever gets measured. I don't know how to measure sound. But last time I checked, I'm pretty sure a firecracker is not louder than a jet. But that might just be.
and it was a flashbang. Like, the entire room went...
Oh, it was a flashbang. I don't exactly remember what a flashbang is, but last time I checked, they looked... Okay, yeah, all right, I'm starting to see where he's coming from now.
The room went white for about 2 seconds, and everyone looked at him. We were all like, what's going on? But our class, this was middle school, so we all had the same class, so everyone knew him and knew what was going on. But we all looked at him like, dude, it was funny the first time, but you gotta stop. This is kind of getting...
Was it even funny the first time? Like, would that have been funny? Okay, when you think of, like, class clown, you think of kid occasionally, like, screaming the F word in class or something. I don't know. That's something that happened in my class. But pulling a flashbang is not funny the first time, nor would it be funny any of the times.
Getting weird. And the teacher walked over to him, and she's like, what did you just do? And he's like, I don't know, I don't do nothing. So, no, she's like, what did you do? And then she noticed he was holding something, so she kind of reached for it, but for some reason she missed, and she was like, okay, seriously, you need to stop. Like, whatever you're doing, I don't know what's going on, but you need to stop. So then the class ended, but this is where it gets really interesting.
This is where it gets interesting. Okay, so apparently none of the other stuff that happened was where it gets interesting. But before we continue this story, I just want to say, respect your teachers, man. Like, okay, this is coming from just a normal standpoint, not even like talking about ironic comedy, whatever. Teachers have to put up with middle schoolers, high schoolers. These are like pubescent teenagers that literally try to make them look like fools just for a cheap laugh. Guys, respect your teachers. And sure, you can make a laugh every once in a while in class, have fun. But dude, don't pull flashbangs or light your teacher's hair on fire. Okay, this moral of the story. This story has a lot of complex morals, and it's not even over yet.
A kid who we'll call him Edward. Edward goes over to him, right, and steals it. I don't know why he did that, but he steals it. He steals his rocks, his fire rocks, and he got mad. So he ran away to the blacktop, right, and he was messing around with them, and everyone was kind of like, in awe. But then, the original kid, who we'll call, I don't know, Jacob got really mad, right?
I just want to put it out there. Julian used my name, but I was in no way affiliated with this story.
So, a fist fight happened in the middle of the blacktop.
Wait, what?
And again, but then, the original kid, who we'll call, I don't know, Jacob.
Okay, so now I'm the guy who pulled the flashbang now.
Jacob got really mad, right? So, a fist fight happened in the middle of the blacktop. And again, middle school, so all the classes were together. So we all gathered around in a circle, a giant circle, while they were in the middle, fist fighting. And
I don't know. I don't know if I'm just very, very, very sheltered. But I have actually never seen like the movie cliche fist fight where everyone gathers around, everyone's going like fight or whatever. I don't know what people yell during a fist fight. I don't know. But just I can't. I don't know why. I don't know why that was worth bringing up. But
they were fighting over rocks, and we all knew what they were fighting over, but the teachers didn't. So once they found out that they were fighting over flint and steel, they both got suspended for about 3 weeks, and I think they got expelled.
Okay, I get the fact that like fist fights not acceptable. Flint and steel at school, again, not acceptable. But I don't think that the second guy, Edward, I don't think Edward should have gotten the same punishment as Jacob in this scenario. I'm not referring to Jacob as me because I was not in this story. But I do not think that Edward should have gotten the same punishment because, yeah, dude, starting a fist fight is stupid, but it's not as stupid as lighting a teacher's hair on fire and trying to burn down the school. But yeah, that's just my opinion, I guess.
And oh my god, it was insane. And after the fist fight, he got so mad, but he literally took his flint and steel. I don't know how he got it back, but he did. And he found a little patch of dry brush. Our school was notorious for not...
Jimmy, you're suspended. Here's your flint and steel back.
not keeping track of its landscape, because around our entire school, around the entire perimeter, was dry brush. And one wrong move, one cigarette.
Oh my god. this school clearly has their disciplinary values in priority, because obviously if a kid tries to pull a flashbang in the middle of class, in the middle of a final of all things, light a teacher's hair on fire, start a fist fight, of course after you suspend him for 3 weeks, you're going to give him his flint and steel back. Well, that would just be absurd.
One flash of lightning and our entire school could go up in flames. We didn't have any fire safety plan. We had none of that. And I don't know why they never got in trouble for it, but they never did. So he thought it would be funny to try and start a fire. So an entire little
My school doesn't pass the safety regulations that the state requires for schools. I'm gonna prank the whole class by burning the school to the ground and maybe killing a couple. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna get me some signatures in my yearbook. Jesus Christ, the Jacob in this scenario is is the biggest idiot I have heard in a story all day.
little patch of grass set on fire by the principal's office. And I don't know what he was thinking, but he was stupid enough to do it by the principal's office. The principal walks out, steps on him, and then he got expelled.
Well, all's well ends well. That was a good wrap up to that story. Lighting changes happened. This video was shot over a span of 3 hours. So that's the sun went down. I can't control time. Okay. But I think that about wraps up the season finale. This was a lot of fun. I look forward to do this in a couple weeks again. And I hope that. Well, I hope you guys liked season 1 too. I mean, let me know what you think. I'm not gonna. Chances are I might move away from Spotify because, as you heard before, I switched to a new distributor. Thank you to Anchor for sponsoring this podcast, and I'll see you soon, I guess.